What's going on, family? It's your boy, Mr. Aosinspires. I want to say thank you so very much for watching this video. It's because of you that we're able to reach the masses. I need you to do this. Like, share, and comment. This is the Preachers of the 757. Listen, man, I want to say thank you so very much, man, for being a special guest on the Preachers of the 757. Tell me something about yourself that we don't know, Mr. Jeff Grow.
Wow. So Jeff Whitaker.
Yeah.
I've been here my entire life.
Okay.
I'm from Norfolk.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Barrett Park.
Okay.
A graduate of the greatest high school.
Love it.
And I know you say you're from Indian River,
Absolutely.
right?
Home of the Braves.
I have a young lady in my church who just goes strong for the Braves. Norfolk boy.
Yeah.
Granby High School graduate, 04. Graduated from Norfolk State University.
Yeah.
Go Spartans, behold. The green and gold. Born and raised in a Christian family.
Yeah.
Both of my grandfathers are pastors. One passed away in 2011. I have another grandfather who is close to retiring. Yeah. And man, church boy.
Love it.
You know, I wasn't always saved.
Yes.
I was always in church.
Absolutely.
But my heart wasn't always after God until I got into my later teen years and early 20s, really start refocusing some.
So how old are you now?
30. I'll be 33.
Okay.
So ministry is really just about to start.
Absolutely.
You know, Jesus began his ministry at 33.
I was just talking to somebody about
that.
Yeah.
I believe on May 1st.
Yeah.
I believe it's just a fresh start to whatever God's going to do.
I love it.
But I always knew I was called to pastor.
Yeah.
And lead people.
So how did you know that? Because a lot of people believe that because I have a sweet hoop, I can close. Yeah. People holler when I preach.
Right.
I'm supposed to be a pastor. What would you share with somebody that, you know, I'm at that place now?
I believe before preaching or pastoring is a proclamation, it's an affection. It's an affinity for people. Yeah. I love people.
Absolutely.
And anyone who pastors knows that you have to have a heart for people because you deal with all different types of personalities, backgrounds, situations. I have a real sincere heart for people, and I realized that at a very young age. I would be in service, I would weep over people, and you know, like, why in the world am I crying over this person? I just have a heart for people, so I knew that was the premise upon which my calling would stand on, just the heart for people. But I also like to empower people. So you take that affection and then that empowerment, and you have portions of what it takes to pastor people. So I knew at 11, I would say 11 years old, I didn't know how it would come about, but I knew at around 11 years old that I was supposed to preach, empower people to be who God has called them to be.
I love it.
And then time would reveal that that was a part of God's trajectory for my life.
I love it.
Yeah.
So tell us, you know, you're the pastor of the greatest church of the 757.
TC, I love them.
I love them. So tell us about your journey, because I know that you started off as a youth pastor. And I know when I came to Virginia, the only youth pastor I heard about was Jeff Whitaker.
Oh, wow.
So serious, not trying to flatter you. I'm so serious. All I heard about was Jeff Whitaker. He's the best youth pastor in 757. That's who you need to connect with if you want to grow your ministry. He can give you tools and tips about being a youth pastor. So tell us, how was it being a youth pastor?
It was amazing, and I owe so much homage to Pastor Teron Rogers.
Absolutely.
He gave me the chance to hone my gift, to learn what it is to lead people. I was playing the drums, to be honest with you, for a long time.
Wow.
I was playing drums, so I knew there was a teaching, preaching anointing on me, but Sundays were, you know. And then one of my closest friends, Vernon Gordon, who pastors an amazing church in Richmond, Virginia, he was like, hey, I'm in seminary right now with a pastor who's looking for a youth pastor. And I grew up Church of God in Christ, you know. I was very, you know, Pentecostal, and it was a Baptist church. I was like, I don't know, man, you know. Because you hear all of these myths that we need to debunk about different denominations or organizations. And I met Pastor Teron, man, whose heart still has heart of gold, and he gave me this opportunity, man. He gave me a chance, and I'm forever indebted to the opportunity that he gave me to learn what it is to preach, to lead, to be able to inspire people. And that's how my journey began, August of 2012. Wow. Ebenezer Baptist Church, wonderful church, man, gave this young guy a chance to, you know, develop his gift, and that's how I kind of got into the pastoral vein as a youth pastor. So let me ask you, when he left, you know, God called him to a different assignment. When he left, why did you stay? Man, it would have been the logical thing to do, right? Before even his transition, the Lord had spoke to me a few months earlier and had given me the name. I was in seminary at Regent Transformation Church. And I'm, writing logos and stuff like that. And I didn't know when it was going to come about. But a few months before God had changed his assignment, God had spoken to me, Transformation Church. And me, I was like, well, God, maybe you want to just change the name, which wasn't going to happen. And I can serve here at Ebenezer. Like, this will be really dope. Like, I don't got to go search for a building or nothing like that, right? But it was obedience. And I was talking to a friend recently. I said, man, it's all about obedience. It's not about opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's always obedience. Now, your obedience may lead into opportunities, but it's about obedience. And that's the primary reason why I didn't continue at Ebenezer Baptist Church, because I would have loved to serve and help it go. I had learned a lot from Pastor Teron. I would have loved for it to advance. However, God spoke to me, and God knows me. I'm a very comfortable individual. I like stuff. I'm a calculated individual. So I would have loved to say, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Transition. I'm gonna stay here. But God had already spoken to me, so I couldn't be like, well, God, maybe that won't you, because of different circumstances open. So that's the main reason.
Even looking at hindsight, we can see that God did. I know that you're enjoying this video, but we had to come to you to tell you thank you so very much for your support and all of your shares, your likes, and your comments. We see each and every one of your engagements, and we just want to say thank you. You're helping us reach the masses, and you're helping us fulfill our mission, and that's to empower the world to never give up. This is what I need you to do. I need you to go and pick up your Forgiven shirt. You're amazing, but you're also forgiven as well. Visit our website, apparelbyaos.com. Pick up your shirt today. And also, you can feel free to give a seed on the website as well. You can give through Cash App, that's Aosinspires, or PayPal, Aosinspires, or just visit the website, apparelbyaos.com. Hit the donate button. We thank you so much for your connection. It's because of you that we're able to fulfill our mission, and that's to empower the world to never give up. Grace and peace. Because look at the evidence of the fruit that's producing from TC.
Man, it's totally God. Because there's this fear. Anybody starting anything, whether it's a business or a 501c3 or a church, it's kind of like, I don't want this to fail. And not to say that we base success off of how something looks. I do, God is really growing something healthy at TC, but it's evident that what he did speak was him. Because what's happening is not something that I can say is of me by any nature. It's God sending his people together to really make an impact in this area.
I love it.
And so I'm glad that my yes to God and my obedience has produced and is continuing to produce fruit according to his plan. And I tell people all of the time, it's not my vision, it's his vision. I'm just in the position to steward it with other people according to what he wants.
I love it. So now having, as you say, a mobile church. How is that? Because a lot of people are in fear.
You want me to tell you how it is? You want me to my team to tell you how it is?
Tell me how it is.
It's tough. It's hard. Every Sunday it's setting up. Breaking down. But we have a great team. Shout out to every person, every TC leader, team lead. It's not about me, man. It is a team of people who sacrifice their time, who sacrifice their talents, their treasures every single week to make sure people's lives are changed. And we try to keep the vision ever before the people, because it's hard, man. Service starts at 10. But workers and the team gets there 7:30, 8 o'clock every single Sunday. So it's tough. It gives us hope. However, we're searching now for a building. We're a very young church.
I love it.
So if anybody out there knows, let me just anybody trying to give a church, hey, holler at me. Well, Antonio will get you all the information,
Absolutely.
But it's tough, man. It is not easy. People see the snippets. They see the small things that are posted on. In 2019, you have to share what's going on, right? But they don't see the struggle. Oh, snap! TV ain't working. Service about to start in 15 minutes. Man, we had to come in and clean up before we could set up, because they had something in the gym last night. It's like that's the hard part, the tough part. But I think it's all a part of the journey, because we'll look back 5-10 years from now, like, man, I remember we was waking up 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning just to come and set up. So you learn. What you do learn though is the grace of God and the generosity of people to give their time each week. I don't take that from granted. That's why I always affirm the tribe. We call ourselves TC Tribe, man. We're a family of people that we are willing to work hard to make sure this thing comes into play.
Let me ask you the critical question. I know a lot of people want to know the answer to this. How do you find, or how do you pick dedicated people? I understand there's going to be some people on your team that you're connected to that's not dedicated. That's going to betray you. Even Judas betrayed Jesus. But how did God lead you to select dedicated people?
I think with delegation comes discernment. I think the two work hand in hand. I think you can just discern the heart of people and the motives of people, and God just happens to send people who we believe in the vision. We want to serve. Vernon Gordon, as I mentioned before, man, one of my closest friends, man, he keeps the main thing, which means let's keep the vision before us, right? And anybody who's really supporting the vision and not just me is going to work. My goal is not people to say, hey, I'm supporting my pastor. That's great. I love him. We have some people, some diehard people like you mess with me like they gonna throw hands. Absolutely. But you keep the vision because I'm gonna die one day. Right? But I want the vision to be more significant than my life itself. Right? If you can get people to buy in to and commit to the vision, then they'll be dedicated to that. Because I tell my partners all the time, some days I'm gonna get on your nerves. You're gonna get on my nerves. We're humans, right? But it ain't about us. It's about the vision. So you're committed to the vision, which is God's plan. And as a result of being committed to the vision, we benefit each other. So it's just a matter, man, of constantly keeping the vision before people and their dedication. Either you're committed to the vision or you're not. It's like, and those who are committed are committed. Those who are not, we still love them. We love everybody. But those who are going to get it done are going to get it done. Based on the overarching theme, and that is to see the hearts and minds of people transformed through the Word of God to fulfill their purpose. That's our vision.
You brought up a good point, because I think a lot of people want people to serve or be dedicated because of the leader. And the damaging effect to that is once the leader makes you mad, or the leader does something that you don't agree with,
and that's going to happen because we're humans. You're going to say something, something's going to happen. Now the love of God brings us back together. But the vision doesn't change. The vision is the variable that stays the same. Right? And if we focus on the vision, it's not going to be about me. It's about getting it done. If you're at a war, if me and you are at a war and we upset with each other, look, we'll discuss our stuff later. We got a whole other enemy that's trying to defeat us. So the vow that I made when we enlisted into the army is like, look, I got your back, you got my back. I mean, I like you right now, but I'm not gonna let you die when I got this other enemy. And it's kind of like that.
Removing feelings.
You have to. It's like you can't let feelings are fickle, man. Feelings, today you may like me tomorrow. It's like I'm having a bad day. I don't want to talk to anybody. But the vision is still ahead. So it's like, all right, let me do what I have to do to fulfill the vision. Because when the vision is sure, the people are able to attach to it and move in it regardless of how they feel.
Let me ask you the critical question. This is the number one question that I know a lot of people want to hear. Being a new church, being a young church, we know that feelings are fickle and they'll drop off. And most people, when they drop off, they don't physically drop off, they financially drop off. So how do you keep it intact of when people say things and you want to retaliate in the flesh, but you have to retaliate with love?
Here's what I've learned, man, with leadership. Is that you're called a leader for a reason. Right? To whom much is given, much is required. So you consider your position. You don't let a moment destroy how people perceive who you are. And you respond in a way where, what's the lasting impression that this moment and my response will have? Is it worth me losing my cool? And being known as a person that can't control their anger? Or do I take it and say, okay, it's cool, And I will say this, as a leader, you have to have someone you can vent to. And what I do is you have to have people who you can vent to and say, man, let me tell you something. You got to get it out.
You have to get it out.
It's not going to go anywhere. Keep it in there, So what I do is I have accountables. I have people I'm accountable to. And when I have conversations, I say, man, this really upset. It's the difference between gossiping and just expressing your heart. Like, man, I love this person, man. My heart was broken on this. Man, like,
and a lot of people don't think that the preacher can get hurt.
And I think, anytime you're dealing with John Maxwell.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says you can't avoid conflict when you're dealing with people.
That's it.
At some point, you're going to get hurt. If you don't want to be hurt in life, just ask the Lord to call you home, because you're going to be hurt. But you learn not to let a moment define your legacy, your history, your character, man. Right. You calm yourself and you respond. You're going to be hurt. When you're dealing with people,
absolutely.
First of all, if you want to be a pastor but you don't want to be hurt, then find a different occupation. You're going to be hurt. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with what their life. You're dealing with what they're going through. Yeah. What's important is to have people you can be accountable to.
Absolutely.
One of my mentors, who I believe is going to be on this session, is Pastor Michael Green.
Absolutely.
So when it becomes too overwhelming, I talk to him, my spiritual father, Apostle Matthew Stevenson.
Yes.
Hey, Dad, I need to talk.
Absolutely.
Before I lose my mind.
And
then the father will console the son.
And
then we can go back and lead the people.
Absolutely.
Right. So a lot of young pastors, it's imperative that you have someone that you answer to.
Yes.
I think a lot of times we start these things
answer to ourselves.
Right. And it's like, I can't be the ceiling to my destiny. There has to be someone else that I answer to that kind of helps me. Like, here, son, this is what you're doing these times. This how you carry this out. You about to make a real dumb decision by going into this meeting.
Absolutely.
It's like, so you get the wise counsel.
Right.
In the multitude of counsel, the Bible says there is safety.
Absolutely.
So that's what I do, man. I go vent, talk. I'm upset. I'm about to give up. Okay. I was in your place 25 years ago. Let me give you some wisdom.
And pull you back in ministry. Yeah. Being a married man in ministry. Let me just dive in real fast.
Okay.
How do you handle, and I have to be edgy, how do you handle a lot of people call them she-wolves that see you, because any man that has authority, women are attracted to. How do you handle the temptations, or how do you handle females stepping out of pocket knowing that you're married?
I think it was Bishop Brown who I honor. Either I heard him say this or someone referenced this about him, where he mentioned, and I hope I'm not paraphrasing this wrong, where if you carry yourself in a way where you can't be approached in any kind of way, then it kind of keeps people, or more so women, at a distance. I think it's more so how you carry yourself. A lot of guys say, these women coming at me now. You're looking at them a certain way, you're making little comments here and there, and I think it was Bishop Brown who said that if you carry yourself a certain way, they're just not going to approach you any kind of way. It's kind of
there will be some bold ones.
Now there will be some bold ones,
absolutely.
But in most cases, it's like how you carry yourself. Women, they're smart. They can see if you weak. Like, oh yeah, he was looking at me when I was walking past the offering table. But I think a lot of it has to be the standard you carry. But then also, I always acknowledge my wife. There are some guys like, you married? Like, I didn't know you were married, right?
Absolutely.
It's like I carry myself where, she's with me, I'm her. My wife, man, she's nice, Virginia Beach girl, but she got a little hood in her, So it's like, she the way she carries herself as well. It keeps me in check, man. And my thing is this, and no shot to anyone who has failed, in their marriage, and as a pastor, we all make different choices and all fall, but my biggest thing, man, and I say this all the time, I don't want to be known for being the best pastor. I don't want to be known for carrying this great movement.
Love it.
I want to be known for, man, he stayed faithful to his wife. And his kids. That's it.
Absolutely.
Everything else is like, okay, cool. We grew this church, man. We seeing 500,000 people. It's like wonderful. But you can have a successful ministry, but it's only as successful as your household. The Bible even speaks of that. You can't even pastor, effectively if your household is out of order. So if my wife, there's one amen I never want to lose. And that's the amen of my wife.
Absolutely.
If she's silent while I'm preaching, we have a problem.
It's an issue.
Sometimes as pastors, you get it confused. The whole crowd, man, he dumped the house, but his wife was just like,
just looking.
That's important to me. So to answer your question holistically, it's like, man, I just consider her above any other woman. My church is 90% women. Single women. Single mothers. But my thing is, even though I'm young, they're my sisters or they're my daughters in Christ. It's like, they need to make sure they know what to look for in a husband.
And that line doesn't get crossed.
It's like they don't know what to look for in a husband if I'm after them. It's like, I want you to know that what you're looking for in a husband
Yes.
is what you see here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's very important,
Yeah.
man. So how important is it having your wife side by side in ministry? Because I met some pastors where they're married, has a healthy relationship with their wife, but the wife is somewhere in the back pew, nowhere near.
It's very important to me, and God knows me, man. I have friends who are graced to pastor single. Not me. It's not my grace. I needed to be married, man.
Absolutely.
Because my wife is emotionally supportive.
Yes.
You know, as a pastor, man, you go through so many different emotional
Absolutely.
Aspects. But I love my wife. Now, here's the thing. I've never forced my wife.
I love it.
To occupy any position in ministry.
I love it.
And I got that from Bishop Courtney Macbeth.
Yes.
He says, you want to, sometimes we're unfair to our family.
Yes, we are.
We give other people the opportunity to come into their calling.
We force our family.
Into their own. Yeah. So I've learned, man, to let her pace herself. Now, when we first started off, my wife sings. She's really good. I ain't no praise worship singer. So it's like, I need you to lead worship until we find somebody else. And we have, wonderful worship leaders now. But in the beginning, it was like, look, I know you may not feel like you want to do this, but I need you to do this, But aside from that, my wife helps me think through ministry.
I love it.
And that's very important.
Absolutely.
And I had to grow into her voice.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you only hear them as a wife.
Yes.
And you can't see them as a visionary as well. But she has helped me to really see a different scope of ministry and really honor her voice.
Absolutely.
And I've been blessed by it, man. I really love my wife.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I got married before I got into ministry, because I wouldn't want to have just gotten married because of ministry. There are some times where people you need a wife. It's like, nah, before before there was TC, it was me and Wendy. I've known her since she was 11 years old.
Wow.
So I needed Wendy.
Yes.
That's one thing, man. Like, God's gonna have to let us live a long time. There's a lot of things I can live without. But I need my wife. I love her.
I love that.
And she is what helps her and my daughter are what helps me stay sane.
Yes.
In ministry. If it weren't for those two, I probably wouldn't be pastoring.
I definitely understand that.
If she wasn't in my life, I wouldn't be pastoring.
I understand that.
Because I don't think it's something that I could do alone.
Right. And I love it because I tell people this all the time. Don't have, just because you're a preacher, don't have somebody that looks good on the flyer. That's what I love about my wife, because outside of church, we have an amazing time. We can go to Mount Trashmore, have a great time. Sit down.
We just got back from a vacation, man.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
We're about to head out. So, and that's so important. I think that a lot of people look for status quo, what looks good, versus what's for me.
That's damaging, man.
It's damaging.
It's damaging.
Because you're going through hell at home and trying to lead people.
You have to have real, and the people feel it.
Yes.
The congregation feels it.
Absolutely.
They know when something ain't right, and that's my biggest thing. I'll be very transparent. There are some Sunday mornings where we may have had a disagreement.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, look, babe. I got to go out here. We got to speak to these people. I apologize. Like, I want my household to be good. If I could give any advice to an up-and-coming pastor, a pioneer who's starting a church, I would encourage you to always obey the voice of God. Your vision is only as strong as your ability to hear what God is saying. Once you've heard what God is saying, there are going to be tough days. There are going to be tough times. There are going to be times where you want to quit and just say, listen, this is for the birds. But it's in those moments that you go back and remind yourself of what God has said. Follow that, because it's not up for you. It's not up to you to bring it into fruition. It's just up to you to obey. If you obey God, every opportunity, every platform, every open door is going to come as a result of your obedience. So obey God beyond your feelings, beyond persecution, beyond accusations, beyond what people may think. Obedience will always cause you to end up in the place where God destined you to be. So remain obedient, and as you remain obedient, God will grow you until He's called you to be, and you'll be able to impact lives from one person to another. Also, be sure to follow me on all social network mediums at Let's Grow Jeff. At Let's Grow Jeff. We are gaining understanding, renewing the mind, opposing negativity, and working diligently to grow ourselves and to grow others that God allows us to come into contact with. When you get to the website, be sure to purchase a shirt. Let me know that you're being impacted. Send me a message. Let's connect. Let's grow now. Let's grow together. God bless.